Welcome in the class of engineering hydrology. Today we are going to discuss channel routing. So, first of all understand what is the storage in channels when flood is entering from the starting of the reach, okay, from the starting of the reach. Okay. Here we have this section 1, okay, section 1 and this section 2, okay, section 1 and 2. Okay. Initially water level, okay, in this channel for initially the water level were this, okay, it is parallel to the bed, it is parallel to the channel bed. Okay. So, initially this was the water level, okay, for this one segment of the channel, okay, for this one segment of the channel, and that is why it is called as reach number 1. Similarly, water level before entering the flood hydrograph at section 1, the initial water level was this one, and it was the parallel to the stream bed. Okay. Okay. So, this is reach number 2, this is reach number 1, okay. This is reach number 1, reach number 2, because there is the difference in water level, but in both cases it is parallel, the depth is parallel to the stream bed. Okay. Similarly, in reach 3 the initial depth of the water it was this one, okay, and when a flood is entering at section 1, okay, like this, okay, like this, then the water level for reach 1 is going to decrease, Why it is going to decrease? Because more quantity of the water at this section is coming out, That is why the water in reach 1 has been reduced, okay, since inflow minus outflow. Okay. If there is a difference between inflow and outflow, then the situation of either reducing or increasing quantity of water will happen, okay. And due to that phenomena, we will have two type of storage in the channel, okay. First one is prism storage, and second one is wedge storage. Prism storage means initially, okay, what is the level of the water, okay, means for reach 1, the initial storage of water will be within this, okay, initial level of water, okay. It is the prism storage for reach 1 is this, okay. Prism storage for reach number 2 it will be this one, okay. Prism storage for reach number 3 it will be this one, okay. But when inflow is hydrograph flood is entering at section 1, then wedge formation is there, due to difference of inflow minus outflow, okay. If I is greater than q, then what will happen? Storage will increase, and if I is less than q, then what will be the storage? Storage will decrease as in this case, okay. In this case I is less than q, okay. So, this is negative ways, wedge storage. Okay, here this is there is positive wedge storage, it is positive wedge storage. Okay, because the normal water level before entering the wedge was this. Okay, so here in the here I is greater than input is greater than outflow. Here it is also positive, wedge is also positive. So, I is greater than Q. So, in this example flood is rising in reach 2 and 3, flood is rising in reach 2 and 3 while it is falling in reach number 1, okay, due to the difference in the inflow minus outflow. Okay. So, two things are there, prism storage and wedge storage. Okay. And the next thing which is there, prism storage is dependent upon outflow only, means it is the function of outflow. Okay, what is that discharge? Okay, outflow. Okay, it is okay, you can write Q K into O, outflow. Okay, so this is the prism storage. And wedge storage, it is the function of wedge storage, it is the function of input. Okay, it is the function of input minus outflow. So, if I am writing a prism storage as k times of O, then I am writing wedge storage as kx times of I minus O. Okay, x k is the constant, k is the x is the weighing constant, k both are constant. No, actually this x is the weighing factor, it ranges from 0 to 5, 0 to 0.5. Okay, and the value of x depends upon the shape of the wedge. In here we are taking linear. Okay, it can be parabolic also, waveform also, it can be waveform also. For better understanding, I have taken it here linear. Okay, and if x is 0, then S. Okay, S storage. Okay, we will discuss later on, and K is the storage time constant. Okay, storage time constant. So, storage time constant. So, okay, so prism storage, it is the function of only outflow, and wedge storage, it is the function of input minus outflow. Okay. So, total storage, okay, that I have told you, okay, and m is another constant, k is the constant, k is storage time constant times of q to power m, and wedge storage, it is k into x times of I minus q to power m. Okay, so positive if I is greater than q, otherwise negative, I have told you. So, what is the total storage? Total storage in the reach, as per Muskingum equation. In Muskingum equation, the value of m used here, that is equal to 1, in for Muskingum equations. Okay. So, the total storage S will be summation of these two. So, k times of q plus kx into 1, so then the we will get this is that equation. Okay, that equation, that is Muskingum equation. This is the Muskingum equations. Okay, that is the Muskingum equation. And let us talk what is the method procedure proposed by Muskingum for channel routing. Okay, so this is the equations made by proposed by the Muskingum, and we also know that change in the storage, change in the through this equation, change in the storage means S2 minus S1 will be k times of x into I2 minus I1. Okay, this will be I2 minus I1, and it will be Q2 minus Q1. So, this is equation number 1, okay, say equation A, okay. From continuity equation, change in the storage, okay, input inflow, okay, I1 plus I2 by 2 into delta T plus Q1 plus Q2 by 2 times of this. So, this is the change in storage, say this is equation number 2, and solving equation 1 and 2, Muskingum proposed this one equation in terms of constant C naught, C1, C2, okay. C naught, C1, C2 that has been proposed by the Muskingum after calculation, and the summation of C1 plus C naught plus C1 plus C2 that is equals to 1, okay. K and X that are the constant, I have told in previous slide, okay. And this is the value of Q2, and in general Qn, okay, in general Qn will be C naught times of In plus C1 into n minus 1 plus C2 into Q n minus 1, okay. And for better result, look here, C naught, C1 and C2, it is dependent upon K, X and delta T, okay. And finally, since the K, X are the constant, so value of C naught, C1, C2, it is dependent upon del T. Therefore, we need to choose del T, okay, in such a manner that follows this equations, okay. So, del T should be less than K and more than 2 times of K into X, okay. And one more thing, negative value of constants should be avoided, and it can be taken by appropriate value of del T, right. So, what are the steps in step number 1, knowing K, X, select the appropriate value of del T, okay, calculate C naught, C1, C2, okay. Step number 3, starting from the initial condition I1, Q1 and I2, okay, I1, Q1 and I2, they are known. At the end of the first time step del T, calculate Q2, okay, okay, by this equation, by the equation given here, okay. I2 is known to us, I1 is known to us, okay, Q1 is known to us, okay. Constant C naught, C1, C2 can be calculated by suitable value of del T. So, the value of Q2 can be calculated. And step number 4, in step number 4, the outflow calculated in step number 3, becomes known initial outflow for the next time step, and after that repeat the calculations for the entire inflow hydrograph, right. Now, let us take one example to clarify the different steps, okay. Here the inflow hydrograph reading for a stream reach are given below, okay. Inflow hydrograph, okay, it is given for duration 12 hour, okay, 0 to 12 hour, okay, inflow in Qmax, okay, it is given, for which the Muskingum coefficient value K is equal to 36, X value 0.15, that is need to apply here. Route the flood through the reach and determine the outflow hydrograph, okay, that we need to calculate, that we need to predict using Muskingum, coefficient means Muskingum methods, okay. Also determine the reduction in the peak and the time of the peak of outflow, okay. Reduction in the peak means attenuation, and time of peak of outflow means lag, okay, that we need to calculate after plantation. Okay, after plantation. Okay, outflow. One more thing is given, outflow at the beginning. Outflow at the beginning of the flood may be taken same as the inflow. Okay, that is given. Okay, at the initial. So it is very simple. So we need we will use this one equation. Okay, that is that has been proposed by the Muskingum. Value of k and x, it is given Muskingum constant. Okay. And we know that the unit of k is time. Okay, unit of k is here one k is time. Okay, and here okay, one more thing that I need to explain you. Okay, from here. Okay, from here. Okay, since storage is meter cube. Okay, since it is meter cube and k into meter cube per second. Okay, so the dimension of this constant will be what? It is the dimension of time. Okay, it is the dimension of time. So k value is 36 hours, means 1.5 day. Okay, what we need to do? We need to first step in Muskingum procedure is to select the value of del t, Okay. So in routing period, okay, the routing period from the inflow hydrograph reading, it is given 12 hour, means 1/2 days. Okay. Let us compute the value of C naught, C1, C2. Okay, let us compute. Okay, and if we will get the negative value, then we will think in revision of this del t. Okay, so by putting the values C naught, C1, C2, we determine as 0.02, 0.31, 0.67. Okay, and summation. Okay, it is 1. It means we calculated the our calculation is right. Okay, and value of Q2. Okay, value of Q2. Okay, then the value of Q2 will becomes this one. Okay, 0.02 times of I2 plus 0.31 times of I1 plus this one. Okay. I1, I2. Okay, I1, I2, it is known to us. Q1 is what? Q1 will be what? Okay, Q1 will be what? It is given that outflow at the beginning, outflow at the beginning of the flood may be taken same as inflow, means Q1 will be I1. It means Q1 is equal to I1 at the beginning of the flood. Okay, since the flow is okay. So we will make this table. Okay. So Q1. Okay, I have told you Q1 is assumed equals to I1. Okay, and I1 value is 42. I1 value is 42. Okay, I1 value is 42 Qmix. Okay. So input this input hydrograph. Okay, that ordinate has been given. Okay, that has been mentioned here. Okay, 0 at time 0, it is 42, 12, 45, 25, 24, it is 88 and so on. Okay. Value of 0.02 I2, value of 0.02 I2. Okay, this one component 0.02 I2. Okay, then 0.031 I1. Okay, it is written here. Okay, and this one 0.67 Q1. Okay, that we need to calculate through this table, and therefore outflow it will be outflow according to Muskingum method, it will be summation of this one plus this one plus this one. Okay, so this can be calculated. Okay, that can be calculated. So in first at time t is equal to 0, at time t is equal to 0, inflow is 42, inflow is 42 and outflow it is 42, okay, it is 42, okay, that has been told in questions that starting both are same. So, this is 42, okay, both are same. At this the value of this one 0.02 I2, okay, that value, okay, this is for this parameter, this is I1, this is I2. So, multiply it by 0.02, we will get 0.990, okay. And similarly, this one, okay, this one we will multiply 88 by 0.02, we will get this, okay. This one parameter by multiplying 0.02 and so on, okay, we will get all these data, okay. Similarly, 0.31 I1, okay. So, I1 is this one, okay, I1 is this. So, by multiplying this by 0.31, we will get this one, okay. This one 14 by multiplying this one data with 0.31, we will get this, okay. Similarly, this one we need to multiply 0.31 from this, then we will get this, and all the values can be calculated in the similar manner, okay. 0.67 Q1, okay, 0.67 Q1, okay. We I told you that initially this is the value of Q1, okay, it is 42. So, this one value will be 0.67 times of 40, this one Q1 means 42. So, this is this, okay. Similarly, this one value will be what? This one value will be what? Okay, this one value will be this one value means 42.1 multiplied by 0.67, that comes to be 28.3, okay, that comes to 28.3. Similarly, what will be this value? How this value can be calculated? This value will be calculated by multiplying this value, okay, multiplying this value by 0.67, okay, we will get, and similarly all the data will be calculated, okay. And outflow, okay, that the data presented in this column represents the outflow, represents the required outflow, okay. So, the Q2, okay, that I have told you, okay, the value of Q2 becomes Q1, okay, the value of Q2 becomes Q1 for the next routing period, and the process is repeated till the flood is completed, till the flood is completely routed through the reach, okay. The resulting outflow hydrograph is plotted as shown in figure, okay, that can be plotted, okay. This is the given, this is the given inflow hydrograph, okay, this is the given inflow hydrograph, okay, at time t equal to 0, same data, okay, that has been presented over here, that is given, okay. And from this data, what is the maximum value, what is the peak? Peak value is 342, the peak value is 342, means this value 342, okay, this value is 340, this value is 342, okay, this value is 342, okay, this value is 2. And what is the peak of outflow? Peak of outflow is 234, peak of outflow is 234, okay, 234 means this one, this is 234, okay. And time is what? Okay, for outflow, okay, for outflow to reach this peak, what is the time? The time is how much? time is this one 84. Okay, 84 time is 84. So, this is 84 hour. Okay, this is 84 hour. Okay, and the time to reach the peak of inflow. Okay, peak of inflow. Okay, the peak of inflow, it is how much? It is 48 actually. Okay, it is 48, means this one. Okay, it means this one. Okay. So, attenuation can be calculated. Attenuation will be what? Attenuation will be this difference, decrease in the peak. Okay. So, it is reduction in the peak outflow. Okay, outflow, and it will be after what time? It will be after what time? It will be after this is after 84 hour. This is after 84 hour. Okay, starting is 0. This is 84 after 84 hour, and it is 342 minus 234, that comes to be 108. Okay, that the reduction in peak meter cube per second. Okay, after 84 hours. Okay, and lag time, what is the lag time? Lag time, it is the difference of this one. It is the difference of this one, means lag time. It is 84 minus 48. It is 84 minus 48. Okay, this is the lag time. Okay, so lag time. Okay, and one more thing, we can calculate from this diagram. Okay, from this diagram. Okay, this is inflow, this is inflow. Okay, and okay, after plotting this, after plotting outflow, okay, we made this one. Okay, we made this one. Okay, one more conclusion, interception point is here. Okay, interception point is here. It means in this channel, the flow is under control, otherwise the peak will overlap at that interception point. Okay. So, from this diagram, the positive storage is between this. Okay, this is the positive storage. Okay, this is the positive storage, and from here this is the negative storage. Right. So, this was the method how reservoir routing, now how channel routing can be there. I told you the different steps of Muskingums. Okay, these are all these 4 steps, and that 4 steps has been applied to get the desired outflow for corresponding inflow. Okay. So, that is all for today, and thank you very much for listening.